You haven't started because you're scared. And I want to dispel that for you. And I want to just get that out of your way and really delve into where that fear, where that anxiety, whatever you want to call it, where that's coming from. And that's exactly what we're going to do here on the podcast today. Welcome to Home on Revolution. And we are going to jump right into this because this is something that I have been dealing with for a long time and only recently was able to put a tag on it and really understand what it was, where it was coming from, how to deal with it. And it took me a while because honestly, a lot of times when we have fear, and on the last podcast, we talked about this a little bit, how it actually is not fear, it is anxiety because fear is there's a very real and present danger. That is fear. Anxiety is when we have this feeling, this apprehension over something that's imagined, right? It's not even something that's real. So what do we do when it's there? You can't just be like, oh, this is imagined. So it's gone now because I know it's imagined. It doesn't work like that. You just like you tell a little kid that's afraid of whatever they're afraid of. Oh, that's not real. There's nothing under your bed or in the dark closet or whatever. You think they're automatically going to be like, oh, we're good now. No, and with my children, I like to say there's nothing there in the dark that's not there in the light. And Jesus is with us everywhere. And that usually helps. But what I'm talking about here is just knowing that our anxiety about starting whatever venture, whatever thing it is we're trying to start. And this could be maybe you want to start a podcast, a YouTube channel, a ministry, a nonprofit, anything at all, a business, whatever it is. There's something or multiple somethings holding you back. And maybe you already did start, but you're not really giving it your all and you're not seeing as much growth as you would like. And while growth is never linear and it's always very messy and you have to go down before you can go up and all these other things and these principles and these truisms, while all those things are true, one of the biggest factors that really stunt your growth and hold you back from reaching your full potential is honestly just having this anxiety around it. Now, perhaps you did start whatever it is, but you're not seeing that growth and it's been a while and you just feel like you're not moving or things are getting stagnant or that there is another thing you can do, another step you can take, a part of you that's been holding back and you just can't bring yourself to do it because of what you would call fear, but it's actually anxiety over the what ifs. What if someone judges me? What if I say something wrong? What if I stutter? What if I'm a big imposter because I really don't know that much about XYZ? So how can I talk about it? The list goes on. We have 1,000 reasons. And yes, part of this is resistance trying to stop us from doing this amazing thing. And the closer we get to doing this thing, the bigger the resistance is. Remember, we talked about Stephen Pressfield and how this analogy of the tree is our calling. And the bigger our calling, the bigger whatever we're going for, the bigger the shadow. And the shadow is the resistance. And he talks about this in The War of Art. It's an excellent book. I recommend it. Highly, highly recommend it. So there's something that is trying to stop you, right? But if you look at how anxiety really plays out, it's these what ifs. And so one of my favorite things to do to combat this, to just get around it, to see it, because and I think almost everybody is in a way, I like to see things. I'm visual. So I like to write them out. I like to draw them. I like to, I'm taking notes. I love to have a physical notebook. I can type way faster than I can write, but there's just something about that pen in my hand, right? There's just something about having a physical book when I'm reading, right? Kindle, I can, books, that's cool and all. Audiobooks, awesome. If you're driving or whatever and you want to, but there's something about that physical book, right? So I'm very visual. I like to see it. So what I do for anxiety and my what ifs, because man, what ifs you could write a novel with them sometimes, right? Take a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle of the paper. And I want you to just put what if at the top. And you're just the top, middle, neutral. On the left side, I want you to write the what if positive. You can just do a little positive symbol. Other side, what if negative, right? And write all your what ifs out, whatever they are. What if this actually works out? What if I publish this podcast and people start listening? And if it helps one person, right? Like that one person, you could change their world, you could change their life. That's amazing. Write that. What if it helps 100 people? What if it helps? These can all be separate because I want you to build up this evidence bank. I want you to build up this, and your hand is going to be sore if you do this right. I want you to build, and you can type it if you want, whatever. I'm not judging you. I'm not looking. This is for you. I want you to build up this evidence bank of all these what ifs. You're going to do the negative too. You're going to write, what if my old friends from high school see this and they start making fun of me behind my back and I'll never know? Or what if somebody I do know on Facebook or whatever sees it? And what if my cousin Sally sees this? And when we go to Thanksgiving dinner this year, she's like, hey, I saw that new podcast you got out. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. You think you're going to get famous? Don't punch her. She's projecting her own limiting beliefs on you. Anyway, so I want you to write out all the negative what ifs you can think about. Just keep going. I wouldn't spend more than 15 or 20 minutes on it personally, but whatever you need to get that evidence bank nice and juicy, because you're going to look at this and you're going to realize two things. You're going to realize that the good, positive what ifs, they severely outweigh the negative ones just by number, but also by the impact that they will have, right? The goodness of them. And you're also going to realize that the negative what ifs are actually kind of silly and they really don't matter. I'm not saying that you might not, maybe you'll have some negative ones that are truly something that is a hard negative and it could make you reconsider what you're doing. I can't think of anything in the moment that that would be, but this is one reason writing it out is so powerful because you're going to be able to see that and you're going to be able to decide what to do from here on out because of this evidence bank that you're creating. But more likely than not, and every time I've ever seen this happen, you're going to see the positives and it's going to encourage you and it's going to help you. So I highly recommend to do that. And the other thing is you can step out in, and again, we're not going to call this fear, but it's so easy to call it fear. Even me, I find myself saying it. You're going to step out in this anxiety. You're going to step out with these anxious thoughts, these worries, all of these unknowns. You're going to step out in faith and you're going to just take the very first step. You're not going to say, all right, listen, we're going to use a podcast as an example because we're talking here on a podcast and it's just the easiest one. But this could go for a ministry. This could go for a business idea, an invention. This could literally, a health, whatever, anything you want to do that anxiety is holding you back, this could go for it. You are going to take the first step. Now, you're not going to say, with the podcast example, you're not going to say, I'm going to start a podcast. I am going to do an episode every day for at least a year, 365 episodes. Yep, I commit. You're not going to do that. And I'm going to tell you why. Nobody wants to lock themselves in like that. That is crippling, especially if this is not your forte, if this is not your normal realm of operations. You are going to overwhelm yourself. You are going to burn out by day 19, most likely. That's actually what they found, that people usually give up on day 19. I don't know what it is about day 19, but there's been studies. I believe I heard of this on the Ed Milet show. So it was a while back. So you are going to commit to doing one thing. And to bring up Ed Milet again, he's been such an inspiration for me. I can't help it. So he has this one more, and it's just like, I'm going to do one more, whether it's one more rep, one more sales call, one more, whatever it is, you're just going one, and it's like the one step thing, right? And it's so easy. It's so tangible. It's a very simple thing to do. It's something that you can do right now in the moment, accomplish it, and you're going to get that dopamine hit from it. You're also going to get that knowing that you did something, and it's going to just give you this confidence because you said you were going to do something, then you crossed it off your list and you did it. And not only do you get the dopamine hit, but you get that confidence booster, which is also a dopamine hit, right? And it's going to make you feel good. And that's all you're going to do is you're going to do the first thing. So you say you want to start a podcast, set up your podcast thing. It only takes a couple minutes, depending on how fancy you want to get. Just put some earbuds in. You don't need a fancy microphone right now. And record your first episode. Hop on your phone, get up your voice memos and record your first episode. And I hope that you understand that it's going to be messy and it's going to probably be ugly and the sound quality is not going to be that great and your voice might be shaky. And if you don't have an outline and you're just winging it like I do a lot of times, you might stutter and you might struggle and that's all okay because messy is fine. Done is better than perfect and messy is okay. There is so much to be said about not trying to achieve A plus work all the time. Amy Porterfield, I believe it is. She talks about doing B minus work. And at first when I heard this, I was like, I am not going to like this episode. I am a perfectionist. It's not that I don't think that I can change. It's just that that is my normal nature. And I just like to give everything my best. And I encourage you to give your best and be excellent in everything you do, right? But doing B minus work is going to allow you to take that first step without judging yourself so harshly, without second guessing it and going back and forth, getting stuck in analysis paralysis, trying to make sure everything's perfect before you start. It's going to allow you to get moving. And the most powerful thing about getting moving, even with just one step, is you're starting that momentum. You're starting to roll that snowball down the hill. Momentum is one of the most powerful things. Object in motion tends to stay in motion unless it's acted upon by another object, right? One of the laws. It's just so powerful. So I want to keep this really simple. This is my encouragement for you today. I want you to punch anxiety in the face and say, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to compile my evidence list and I'm going to encourage myself that I can do this and the good is going to outweigh the bad every single time. I'm going to take that first step in faith and I am going to go for it. And I want you to let me know. I want you to find me on social media. You can come to my Free Moms group on Facebook, Whole Mom Revolution. You can email me. You can do whatever you want. Get a hold of me and let me know how that went for you. Let me know what you did. What was your first step that you did? I am so proud of you and I will see you on the next episode.